What's up guys, Eric with Verus Engineering, and today we are doing an oil dipstick install on this GR Corolla you see behind me. We're going to be throwing a red dipstick handle onto this factory part. All right, so the kit components are going to include the dipstick handle, the dipstick adapter, an M4 stud, an M3 stud, and then a M2 by 6mm spring pin to install basically this entire unit on the factory dipstick. All right, as far as tools required, we're going to need a drill with a 5/64 drill bit or 2mm drill bit, whichever you have. I'm assuming you're going to have 5/64 if you're in the United States. Needle nose pliers, side cuts or dikes. Potentially we're going to use a hammer, but hopefully not when we install that spring pin. And then I have a 1.5 and a 2mm Allen wrench. First part of the install is we're going to remove this factory dipstick. Now, the one thing that I will recommend is make note of where the oil is at on the dipstick. We are changing this location. Now, if you do the install correct, you're going to be fine, but it's always a good idea to double check after we do the install to make sure that oil line, which is, I don't know, 3/4 of the way up, is roughly in that same location so that you're not overfilling or underfilling the car. All right, there's a few ways to remove this handle. We use heat. We've also used a hacksaw. We've also used a bandsaw. Hacksaw and the bandsaw obviously going to be a little bit more destructive and scary to do, where if you just heat it up, you're not going to ruin that metal dipstick and the plastic will basically just get ruined over time. Take that O-ring off first. That O-ring that we just took off, let's put it on the adapter so we don't lose it. So we have melted off the OEM dipstick handle. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, so basically the bottom hole. We're going to open up that hole to 5/64 or 2mm so that we can install our spring pin in that location. All right, so next step is we're going to use some side cuts, dikes, and we're going to cut right above that, so between the first hole and the second hole. Okay, they're not sharp at all. Somebody took my nice ones. It's kind of frustrating. All right, I don't know if you can see me through that top hole, but we've lined up the dipstick with that spring pin hole, and now we're going to install the spring pin in that location. We're also going to then flip it around and put that M3 stud in that location to keep it from wiggling around. It just makes it like a slightly nicer fit, where right now this part kind of can wiggle around a little bit. All right, so we got the spring pin. We're going to pinch one side slightly to make it install just ever so slightly easier, because I'm not going to lie, guys, this part kind of stinks. We're going to go in from this side as it has like a bigger chamfer, like so. Kind of start it in that hole. All right, so we got it started with hammer. Now we're going to go in here with some needle nose pliers and squeeze it the rest of the way in. We have the spring pin installed. We're going to install the M3 stud, like so. Again, that kind of just locks it in place. It's more optional than necessary. And you're going to just tighten it. Don't go crazy because it's an M3. Now I'm going to throw this M4 stud in. Going to use a little bit of red Loctite, as you can see. Throw that in there. And tighten that. The 2mm Allen wrench. We're going to thread on our handle like that. And then it's ready to install on the car. And like I said before, we're going to test real quick. We're going to make sure that the oil level is at the same spot, which it is. We are happy. All right guys, thanks for watching our oil dipstick handle install. We've got some other caps for the car obviously, and we have some more parts coming out soon, so stay tuned.